Hello friend, my name is Asindra, and today we're going to continue playing for you Cinderella Phenomenon with Comp.
Hello.
So last time we found out Tinkerbell and Neverland, what they look like, and we were like, hey, wait a second, I have that box.
We know that box. We own that box.
Yeah, my mom gave me that box. So now we're in the princess's old room in the palace, and there's a person who is coming into the room. And you were right, Comp!
Ah! Oh my gosh!
The king, what is he doing here? When the king steps inside, I notice that there's something in his hands. He has Neverland.
Bum, 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 bum.
That's the box. But why does he have it? I look at Waltz and he gives me a small nod, affirming that it is indeed Neverland.
Who's there? Show yourself now if you don't want to get hurt.
The king unsheathes his sword.
Eesh.
What should we do? I look at Waltz, who signals to me to stay in place. He mouths something, and I think he might be saying that he means to find a way to get us out. Is Waltz going to sacrifice himself again? Will he be all right? Should I trust him?
I guess we'll go with the dice.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards reveal myself, but at the same time, I'm not sure. The dice are hiding under my keyboard. The dice say that she stays.
Okay.
Right at the 9, it was right on the cusp.
I nod at Waltz. He steps out of the curtains and raises his hand in surrender.
Even the dice was like, I don't know what to pick. Forgive me, Your Majesty. I know you. You were Hildeer's apprentice, Waltz, was it?
I remember then that Waltz had worked for Mother, so naturally the king would know who he was.
It's been a while, Your Majesty. I'm honored you still remember me. You haven't changed, not at all. So Hildeer really did curse you for betraying her.
Betraying her? Betraying her how? The king places his sword back in its scabbard.
I have no idea what you were doing here now, but...
The king surprises us both by getting down on his knee and bowing to Waltz.
Your Majesty, you shouldn't... I was never able to thank you after the war, so thank you. You did so much for our kingdom, Waltz. So thank you. We owe you our lives, if only all witches were as good as you.
The king stands once again, his posture stiff and straight.
There are more of us than you think, Your Majesty.
I am lost. What are they talking about?
But I didn't do it for the kingdom.
Waltz turns to look at me suddenly, a small smile on his face.
I did it for her. Her? Who are you talking about?
Waltz nods his head at me.
It's all right, Asindra.
I slide out of my hiding place and stand in front of the king. It has been months since I last saw him. The king's eyes widen as he looks at me.
You're that girl from the gate.
You remember me?
It's more like I find it impossible to forget you.
What?
I have a lot of questions for the two of you, but the most important is why are you both in... What is going on with my English? Why are both... What?
Why you are both in this room.
Thank you. I don't know what happened there.
It's okay. You will be okay.
I think it was the word order.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that I know you, Waltz, you have still broken into the palace.
We would not have done it if we did not have to. I steel myself for further scolding when the king turns to look at me. That box you are holding, we need it to break Waltz's curse.
How did you come to have it, your majesty?
The king looks down at the box as if only noticing it for the first time.
I was in this room the other day and noticed a chip on the side of the box. I took it to get it fixed.
A chip? I did drop it once a while back, but did not think to get it fixed myself. Why would you do that? The king looks around the room, a faraway look in his eyes.
This room is special to me, though I do not know why. I feel like this room and I are both waiting for someone to return, and everything must be perfect for when they do.
I feel my chest tighten even as the king huffs out a derisive laugh.
What am I saying?
He cannot miss me when he does not remember me. He can't. Right?
He's missing you, honey. But if this box is all that you require, Waltz, you may have it. It is the least I can do after all you have done for us.
The king holds out the box to Waltz, who reaches out to take it.
Thank you, your majesty. Look who we have here. No idea who this is. It's her mother.
I was gonna say it's probably Blarg.
Oh.
We all freeze at the sound of the new voice. I turn and find an all too familiar figure leaning against the doorway, a mischievous grin on his face. Yep.
What a sweet little reunion.
Blarg? Chapter 6, Betrayals. Just so you know, there's 10 chapters.
Oh, Jesus.
I think. 10 or 15. I think it's 10, though.
Okay.
Blarg.
Blarg! I told you I'd come back for you, didn't I?
Blarg taps his cane on the floor, creating a shockwave of powerful energy that blasts us all across the room. The impact of the magic forces me against the wall. I collapse to my knees, pain thrumming in my head. The king collapses somewhere nearby, and I hear the crack of the box as it lands on the ground a few feet away from us. Waltz holds out his hand. I take it and he helps me back to my feet.
Asindra, are you alright?
Yes.
Asindra?
The king looks at me quizzically, but his gaze does not linger. He looks towards Blarg, his eyes narrowed. Did the king remember who I was?
Your Majesty, are you hurt?
The king shakes his head at Waltz before turning his attention to Blarg, his eyebrows furrowed.
Who is this man? Your Majesty, this person is working for the Wicked Witches. What?
Wait, what happened to Jurian and Garland? They were just outside the door. What did you do to them? Blarg cocks his head to the side.
Who?
The guards just outside this door. I am sure that they must have hid themselves when they saw the king coming to this room, but they still should have been able to see Blarg coming.
Guards, I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about, Princess.
Blarg seems like he is telling the truth, but I cannot trust him. Please, let them be safe. I see Neverland a few feet from us. I can try to grab it, but Blarg will probably thwart my attempt with magic. I have to wait for an opening.
I'll distract him. While I do that, the both of you need to run.
What? I eye Blarg. He looks at the three of us with his lips slightly quirked as if he is amused.
To the dice.
To the dice.
To the dice! Come here, I want to use you, and you're at the bottom. Natural 20, so we're staying with them.
No.
Nice. What? Sorry, I got distracted by the dice. A Syndra.
We must prioritize the king's safety. I will help you. I do not know how, but I must do something.
But
We are in this together, Waltz. I am not going to run away while you sacrifice yourself for us. Waltz's disapproval is clearly written on his face, but he eventually sighs out, seeming to let it go.
you're too stubborn for your own good.
So I've been told. I turn to the king and place a hand on his shoulder. Your Majesty, leave this to us. You have to escape somewhere safe. This does not involve the king. It is me that Blarg wants after all. The king shakes his head as he removes my hand from his shoulder. He stands up and moves in front of us before pulling his sword from his sheath.
Your Majesty. What kind of king would I be if I stood back and allowed 2 children to protect me?
Blarg looks amused by our conversation.
The fact, though, that this entire time Blarg has been standing there.
Yeah.
He is every shitty anime villain.
Yes.
You know,
He just needs to monologue.
right? Like, you know that I'm not letting you get away this time, Princess. It doesn't matter who stands in my way.
Father, his cane is enchanted. You cannot hold him with just a blade.
Father.
I am at a loss for words. It has been a long time since I have called him that. Much to my surprise, the king's lips pull into a soft smile.
You said that at the gates one day, when you were seeking an audience with me. I have not been able to forget that day.
Before I can say anything in return, a familiar voice, the smooth voice breaks the ensuing silence.
I was literally about to say, like, Blarg is just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Oh, I wonder where all these voices are coming from.
Oh, it's you. A familiar man steps into the doorway. He inspects everyone in the room quietly.
Mithros. Your Majesty? Quickly, summon the knights. We have an intruder in the palace.
He gestures at Blarg, who looks unperturbed.
He's a fucking evil witch, isn't he?
Probably.
An intruder, you say?
Sir Mithros turns to Blarg. At first his expression is impassive, but then, slowly, his lips begin to edge into a sly smile.
You're such a ruffian, Blarg. Look at all of this property destruction.
I can only gape at Sir Mithros in shock. If he knows Blarg, then he is most certainly affiliated with the witches.
You know this man? Explain yourself, Mithros.
We are all thrown off guard by Sir Mithros laughing. Soon his laugh becomes a mad cackle. There is a strange brightness in his eyes that sends shivers down my spine.
My apologies, Your Majesty. I am just amused at my servant's atrocious behavior. At ease, Blarg.
Sir Mithros gestures at Blarg, a silent command to lower his cane. Blarg obeys him before moving to the corner of the room and leaning against the wall with disinterest.
Don't worry, Your Majesty. You're not the one we're after. What?
Sir Mithros turns his sly smile on me, and I instinctively take a step back.
The princess is the lady we need to escort. Escort. Princess. This girl is a princess. That is correct. It is a shame you can't remember your own daughter, even though she stands right in front of you. Enough with your vagueness. Explain yourself.
The king's grip on the hilt of his sword tightens.
I am not obliged to explain everything to you. Try thinking on your own for a change, Your Majesty. Mithros!
Sir Mithros ignores the king's outburst and turns his attention to Waltz. He visibly stiffens and his sly smile contorts into a grimace.
And look who we have here. I see that the traitor has returned to the palace.
Waltz stares at him, looking puzzled. Sir Mithros tilts his head to the side and offers Waltz a lopsided smile.
You still look the same as you did back then. I did not think it was possible for you to grow any weaker, Waltz Cresswell.
Oh, that's you. Shit.
Mithros, I see.
Waltz suddenly looks melancholy as he stares at Sir Mithros. Waltz, what is going on?
This man's real name is Myth, and he is a witch. Same as me. It appears that he has been using a powerful glamour to conceal his real identity. If I hadn't been cursed, I would have been able to tell right away. I would not give yourself so much credit, Cresswell.
Waltz narrows his eyes but says nothing. I glance between the two of them, confused. But how do you know him?
He secretly worked for your mother. Practically worshipped her. I was the only other person who knew of his existence as a witch outside of the Dark Crystal Bearer. A witch! I trusted you, Mithros.
The king says the words through gritted teeth, his face contorted in anger.
Rawr.
Sir Mithros flicks a wrist. It is a dismissive gesture, and he still looks amused.
What a hypocrite you are, your majesty.
He eyes Waltz.
You're willing to play nice with some witches, but not others. This bias is what drove us witches to madness in the first place.
Sir Mithros faces the king with a grin.
You human hypocrites are so easy to manipulate. It is pathetic. Mithros.
The king charges...
Tired of his name.
The king charges towards Sir Mithros with his sword held high.
Your Majesty, don't. Whoa.
The king's sword never touches Sir Mithros. Sir Mithros only has to hold out his hand, and suddenly an invisible force pushes the king back. He crashes into one of my shelves, knocking down my dolls. Your Majesty! I quickly run to his side to help him up. Thankfully, he does not seem to have any major wounds. To think there was a witch working in the palace the whole time. And not the good kind of witch either.
I was too careless. Rejoice, your Majesty. I still have more surprises for you. I will never forgive this betrayal, Mithros. You'd think, like, other guards would have popped up, would have heard all this.
Yeah, you would...
The middle of the night in the castle, like...
They could just hear the king yelling and think he's doing something.
Right,
Or they could all be dead, or ensnared in a spell.
That's true. Betrayal. I'm afraid you have been played a fool this entire time. Your Majesty, my loyalty has always been reserved for Lady Hildir and no one else. Myth, I cannot imagine what you would hope to gain from all this. Hildir is gone.
Sir Mithros' eyes flash as he turns a severe gaze on Waltz. His voice is seething with venom when he speaks.
Had it not been for you, traitor, she would still be here.
The king mentioned Waltz's betrayal. Sir Mithros called him a traitor. What exactly did Waltz do?
Out her mother as a witch?
Or killed her, maybe?
True, maybe.
Sir Mithros beckons me forward with a gesture of his hand.
Now, if you please, Princess, come with us. If you don't want them to get hurt.
Waltz immediately stands in front of me.
I won't let you take her. In your current form, you don't stand a chance. I will make certain that you never break your curse, Waltz. This whole thing was a setup, a trap.
I am sorry, Waltz. This is my fault.
No, it was mine. The reason we came was to break my curse.
My eyes once again flit to the box on the floor. Neverland is just a few steps away from me. Neverland. Waltz's eyes follow mine to the box. He leans back and whispers to me.
You have to get the box and break my curse.
I feel for the key inside my pocket. If Waltz's true magic is indeed sealed in that box, then releasing it might give us a chance at victory. And Mithros and Blarg do not seem to have caught on to the fact that the object will break Waltz's curse is right at their feet. Okay. The king moves to stand beside Waltz and draws his sword again, his body a shield.
Your Majesty, I will not let you take this girl. You will have to go through me first.
You cannot do this.
Asindra, I have always loved that name. I thought if I ever had a daughter, I would give her that name. Magic makes even the impossible possible. You must truly be my daughter, yes?
Tears start to blur my vision.
Oh, how disgustingly touching. It seems as if I will just have to deal with you first.
Ah, magic.
Magic! Ah!
No!
Panic!
I rush towards the box at the same moment Mithros casts his spell. Blarg lunges toward me, his hand reaching for me. But he is too late. By the time he grabs me, I have already inserted the key into Neverland. I give it one definite twist and hear the click of a box as it pops open. White flashes through the room, blinding me. Suddenly, I feel a strong arm around me, holding me tightly, protectively. When I open my eyes, it is Waltz I see. Even several years older, I still recognize him. He's just in tall form now.
He's a tall and not a small.
Yes. Waltz.
Hey there, little star. It seems like the tide has turned, miss.
Waltz grins, and I see confidence in his expression that I have never seen before. Sir Mithros' frown has only become more severe.
Fool, I will show you that I was the favorite apprentice. Be careful not to hurt the princess, Mithros.
Blarg's voice is almost teasing, but Sir Mithros does not seem to care.
I didn't plan on it.
Sir Mithros gestures his hand in a sweeping gesture. The beginnings of a spell gather at his fingertips. Waltz looks at me and smiles reassuringly.
Now when I say that I can protect you, Asindra, I definitely can.
Waltz holds out his hand just before Sir Mithros' magic reaches us. An invisible barrier suddenly appears in front of us, thwarting Sir Mithros' magic.
It seems like I'm not as rusty as I thought it would be.
Waltz snaps his fingers and effortlessly creates a dark wave that pushes both Sir Mithros and Blarg to the wall.
Ugh. Let's go.
Will they make it out of the castle? Will they escape? Will they get killed by Mithros?
Yes.
Find all this out and more next time. So, thank you for watching. Comp, what do you have to say?
Thank God she's being let out of the castle so she doesn't give them away going the entire time.
Yeah, really. That cursed echolocation.
You know what? Maybe that's what alerted them to the fact that she was in the palace in the first place.
Yeah, maybe. Yep. So, I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.